It's Gay Crappens, Watch What Crappens, and Reality Gays here talking about Ladies of the 80s, A Diva's Christmas. And we were just now, part two, we were just now starting to talk about the plot of the movie.
Yes. Part one was more of a general overview, discussions, impressions, thoughts, and reactions.
I enjoyed that. I thought that.
Thoughts about movies, how the movie was put together, things the makers could have done.
You missed it. Okay, go back and listen to it. We're not going to catch it. This isn't Cliff's notes for what you already missed. Go back and listen to the fucking thing.
And if you haven't watched Ladies of the 80s, you don't.
I think you're fine.
But yeah,
probably okay.
I think you're fine.
So we're watching Ladies of the 80s right now. And guess what? We're living minute by minute. So Ben, go ahead. We have not let Ben finish this sentence for 10
I'm just trying to launch the recap. So for those who do want to watch it, it is available on Lifetime. Go to the Lifetime website and look up Ladies of the 80s and add to their 5s of views. So it starts off with a song that I don't remember the tune because it's not quite as catchy as the Ladies of the 80s song, but the lyrics are, December comes, it brings a joy I can't explain. Though years may change, the Christmas spirit always remains the same. It's Christmas time, the magic is in the air. It's Christmas time, whoa. You can feel it everywhere. Whoa. It feels so right.
Whoa.
Whoa. And as we're hearing this, we are seeing shots from all around Los Angeles. We see Rodeo Drive. We see the Christmas tree at the Grove. We see Fox Studios, which doesn't really make any sense.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. I was confused by that too.
Like one of the least scenic and visually appealing studios in Los Angeles.
What about Fox the Paramount Gate? Yeah,
no. Let's just show this generic facade.
And just
show water tower is necessary.
I think they had a drone because then they showed Century City, and I know because I used to work there in my law, which is right by the Fox studio. So I think they just had because they did Beverly Hills as well. So
a lot of Beverly Hills.
Secretly, the director's nephew knows how to do drone stuff for real estate stuff, and they just had them fly around Century City and get everything.
It was here's the Westfield
Mall. The Fox thing. I guess we're gonna put it in the movie.
Yeah,
don't have
There's
a lot
the
of
Container
B-roll.
Store.
Well, this song was basic, but I know
It's
that
Italy.
it's just a parking garage of the Grove. They're like, do it. I think
you think it's Christmas lights, but it's just the light showing which parking spots are available at the mall.
They are red and green.
They are.
That place scares the shit out of me. It just feels like Squid Game to me. It's
Grove.
like the red and green lights.
Century
I think it's the Century City Mall.
Century City, yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite mall.
Well, this made any gay person excited from this era because the real thing we see at the beginning is Lonnie Anderson, Morgan Fairchild, Linda Gray, Donna Mills, Nicolette Sheridan. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. 12-year-old Ronnie was like, yes, bitch.
I was very excited.
Mother.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Just who is this movie for? Is it people who are just? Is it for us?
It's for Morgan Fairchild. Actually,
it's for us. I think it was for us, but it was neutered before it was delivered to us. It was
right.
Hey, gay people, this is what you're supposed to be like now. You're supposed to be this tame now. You guys have had your 80s, your snapping and your head rolling and your sassiness, and guess what? It's 2023, and now you don't get that anymore. So enjoy your fucking gift. And I say,
people in nursing homes.
It's for people who enjoy movies with light to no conflict and very few stakes. And, cider. They want the cider scenes.
Yeah.
You want to see your old friends, and the people that you love. And I did. I mean, when I saw even their names, I was like, oh my God. But, and I loved seeing them through the whole thing. I feel even bad saying that it's bad because, I love all those ladies who are in
too.
it. But, they just didn't give me what I wanted. Okay.
I'm happy they're working. It was good to see, but sometimes it reminded me of Jake and I once, who was in it, Poodle? We went to go see a stage production of a show called Legends.
Oh my God. It was Linda Evans and Joan
Collins.
Joan Collins.
Zelda? Was Zelda in it?
No, the play was so bad.
So it's based on an older play, from the 30s.
Well,
40.
then they redid it, it was so bad that they delivered the dialogue, and like it was kind of offensive. It felt like it was
they
like
didn't take out the racial jokes, like there were like Asian jokes, like they didn't take them out.
No.
But like it was so bad and it wasn't funny. It reminded me of this. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Because the camp wasn't really there. They just played the camp.
We left at intermission and went and got drunk.
Then Linda Evans just could not stand up. Joan Collins had some really good line deliveries.
She had some good moments.
But Linda Evans just could not compete. There was
We're
no
pretty sure that
wrestling.
it was halting too when she spoke, so we're pretty sure Linda Evans had a feed in her ear.
Yeah,
like feeding her line. Anyway, it reminded me of that because that toured around the country. And when we went to see that show, Ben was saying, I think it's the same one. It was older people who wanted the nostalgia, gay men, and then like a few queer deers who were obsessed with gay men. And
queer deers. I like that.
I
That is a very 2023 version of that.
That's what I call queer deers.
Yeah.
They're deer
I just
to
love
us.
the idea
Weird
of
ears,
Linda
I like that.
Evans on like a live feed. Who is the poor person who has to read Linda Evans' lines?
I'm
Like,
gay.
hey,
And she's
so
so
Charlie's
tall.
coming in. Charlie, tell everyone what you've been doing. I read Linda Evans' lines to her through an earpiece in the play called
She's
Legends.
so tall. It was this ghost, this white ghost blonde ghost just floating around the stage. It was
Her hair was ethereal. It was beautiful.
It was insane.
Linda Evans. I would have liked it for Joan Van Ark to also have been in that play.
Yes.
I thought that would have been a good combination.
Linda Evans does have that kind of hair. It's just so golden, but it also is like Static Cling hair. Like, you know the commercials with Static Cling where it's just kind of like, it's kind of like floating above the actual hairline and it's always backlit. So I can imagine that they probably had like a special gay just with a flashlight behind Linda just to make that Static Cling hair.
She looked otherworldly. Yeah.
He would do that during the night, and then on his off nights, he'd work at the Sex Theater and run the cinema there.
Little known fact: Linda Evans is the creative inspiration behind The Legend of Zelda. Right? No.
That actually kind of makes sense. I know.
Could you imagine?
Oh my God, she is like Zelda. So yes,
That's why they keep kidnapping Zelda. They're like, oh my God, you guys, Zelda cannot remember her lines. Okay, kidnap her at the beginning and we'll just get her back at the end of the video game. Okay.
That's why she never speaks.
Also, this movie, you're right that there was no location budget. Like it was weird how every scene with an outside person was via FaceTime.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm glad you brought this up. I'm really glad you brought this up because I meant to mention this in the preamble episode, which is that this all took place in one house. It was like a bottle episode of a TV show. It was like literally just in a house. Everything that needed to happen was in the house.
They filmed this in 3 days. I fuck you not. I bet it was filmed in like 3 or 4.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which is why they didn't have chances to do retakes on some of the horrific line readings.
And one whole day was just like massages for cast and crew.
One whole day was styling Lonnie Anderson's wigs.
Oh, we're
One whole day was just contouring Donna Mills. They were like, you know what? We're gonna really take our time with this and bring in the heavy makeup. Okay, so now we are at the beginning. Okay, so they're blowing smoke in this like Malibu mansion because oh my God, it's LA. It doesn't snow there. It's so good. So the young Aussie guy is like, we need winter snow. Yeah, like think winter in the middle of Michigan. Yeah, are we gonna do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lay's like, you're standing on the snow hose.
Yeah, because the snow goes away. He's like, where did it go? He's like,
like,
you're standing on it.
And he keeps saying I think what really, and you know, usually with these movies, you get expositional dialogue for like the first 10 minutes.
Oh my
You're used to that.
God.
The expositional dialogue lasted like the first 45 minutes of this movie.
There was a lot.
Because he's like, I'm a producer and it's all on the line and we need, I wish he would have been like just cussing, like really like gross, like we need motherfucking snow, like just really.
Yeah.
Well,
They tried to make him like
he
that
was
at the beginning.
Scrooge. What if he was the Scrooge and didn't really believe in Christmas, and then all of these old women got him to believe in
Yes.
No, he needs to get with the woman. That's the most important thing because it's Lifetime. So he needs to get with the woman because that's God's plan.
Well, but also like they were
That
trying to make
simple.
him like a fussy director, because he's like, I don't like this tree. It's like, well, this tree, I'm just not a fan of it. Maybe move it a little bit, la da da. And then the PAs are like spraying him with snow. Which, by the way, you're fired. That's your writer and producer. You don't spray him with your fake snow.
It's just
And
not
then-
Silver Dollar City where you can mock your boss.
Yeah, and then there's like a Mandy Patinkin type inside who's trying to like do the set decoration.
That was the breakdown.
And he's like, finishing the heart. Finishing the heart.
And light on the light. Did you notice though how every crew person was, which is a common but mostly an older trope for movies about movies, was portrayed as an absolute troll. Like the woman, like the grip was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm just here because they just take me out of a box and I just behave. And
Make sure
all
Lifetime
hate the
should just have.
director.
Next year, Lifetime should just have like ladies of the 80s, a very below the line Christmas or something. Just grips and best boys.
And like, what's weird is this is if he is the sorry, make sure I get his title correct. Writer producer. If he's the writer producer, these are all like his best people. First of all, there's not a lot of staff on this film or TV show that I could see. There's no set dressers. It seems like he's doing all this himself.
Yeah,
and he is.
There's not even a lighting crew as far as we can see, by the way.
He is dressed like a studio executive, not a writer producer. He should have like a MetLife windbreaker. Yes. That he dressed on and should have a hat on that he borrowed from a member of the crew because
and New Balance shoes.
Coffee and New Balances.
He needs a true writer producer will also be probably wearing a cap that says something like USC Film School or something like that, or like a T-shirt from a different show, like a T-shirt that says like Becker on it, and
Becker with the WGA pin.
The naked truth, okay? And so so he's just yelling,
brothers and sisters.
She's the sheriff. So
I loved that show. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Suzanne Summers. So the Brits like, careful, everyone, careful. This is a rental property. You can't be dropping ornaments, Mandy Patinkin. Unfortunately, the network budget does.
Salary.
Unfortunately, the network budget doesn't allow us to pay for damages, and it all comes out of my salary. And as a writer and producer, it's not much.
Remember, I'm a writer and producer.
As a multi-hyphenate writer-producer, I'm almost a predator, but I don't have the editor section yet.
Now, and then they have actually not Chris Evans' brother, but Hot Scott Evans.
Hot Scott Evans,
who's doing the hosting. This is actually, I do really think he was one of the besides the women, he was one of the better actors in the movie. Just because he was just being a host, so he didn't have to act.
I was confused about his motivation though through the entire what was he? Was he supposed to try to steal her?
Well, it was like they decided to make him a villain out of nowhere. Like he's just supposed to be the one delivering information for us. He's the Greek chorus, and all of a sudden we actually are supposed to be not like him.
And then the turn happens. I was very confused.
I don't think
they're like, she needs a love interest, but they're like, we can't cast anybody else, and we can't get anybody else over FaceTime. So what are we gonna do? Who else is?
Alec Mappa's too gay.
Yeah, Alec Mappa was in it. That was crazy to see him. And he was
love
look at him. He's coming up in hour 4 of this podcast. Coming up. So he's like, this exposition cracked me up too, because he's like, canceled longtime popular soap opera Great Lakes is getting a reprieve. Known for its annual family Yuletime episodes, they're going to air one night to show us beautiful moments. Like everything he said was like, and now it's Christmas time and we're having a Christmas movie with 5 ladies of the 80s who were in a soap opera together. They slapped each other a lot. Let's watch ladies slap each other. They're from a soap opera.
That was funny. The montage was funny.
This is what I actually. So when this montage happened, I really did think we were going to get something campy like that TV movie I mentioned, like based on an untrue story. So we see Lonnie Anderson go, "How dare you?" and she slaps someone. And then we see Linda Gray say, "How could you?" and she slaps someone. And then we see Morgan Fairchild in front of like 2 people, and she goes, "Go to hell," and she slaps one person. And then she laughs and she goes, "And you too," and slaps the other person. And I like legitimately laughed. I like had like a full like. There was noise coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Yes, there was noise coming out of your mouth.
I think that was the only time I legitimately laughed at the movie. I think I laughed at the movie.
With the movie.
I did laugh, and we'll talk to it, but we did. Well, it's right after that when Morgan is talking to Alec Mapa, her agent, and when she does say, "What is she doing? Monkey glands?" That made me laugh.
Like, you can.
Is that a thing? I mean, listen, I was like, whatever they're doing. I mean, where are they? Can we do that? Is that a thing we can do? Because I'm going.
Is that the new
tomorrow.
Botox?
I will ask.
I'll do it. I'll do it all.
It feels illegal, which intrigues me. So
that's how you know it's good. Come on.
Did you like the AI joke? The very timely.
I actually did.
He went. Next up will be the from the creators of an AI Christmas.
That made me laugh too.
Same. Yes, actually, yes. And so I thought after the slap thing and the AI Christmas thing, I was like, this is going to be a funny movie.
Yeah,
it would have been if it didn't seem like this entire movie was written by ChatGPT. They're just like, okay, put soap opera ladies at a Christmas. They're like, I'm a soap opera lady at a Christmas. I was like, come on, guys.
So, by the way, the key thing that we did learn from all this is that this show, The Great Lake, is now streaming only, and it's going to be ending, and they're going to have like one final live Christmas show, which for some reason in the history of soap operas in movies and TV, like soaps within the show you're watching, they love these like live soap opera episodes, which I don't believe has ever happened in the history of soap operas since the 1950s, right? Like this does not happen on soap operas. There's no such thing as live soap opera episodes. But like you watch Tootsie,
when I was a kid.
You watch Soap Dish. Did it?
I don't know. Poodle watched Days of Our Lives a lot. I don't know.
I watched Days.
Luke and Laura was Luke and Laura live? Their wedding?
I don't think. No, everything was taped. Everything. I believe. I'm not a. That's Luke and Laura was General Hospital, right? I'm not sure. I think it's soap operas are such a filmed medium, are such a in the can. We'll edit it. We'll do this. I can imagine live is something that happens.
Yeah, I just feel like every movie that's about a soap opera, it always comes down to we're going to do a live episode. I'm like, this doesn't really happen, but I'm for it. Like, it's fun.
So,
why not?
To clarify, it seemed like you said something, and I was confused about this the whole time. It seems like the show's been done a while, and they were going to air one last episode, or had it been running?
Well, it doesn't really make sense because they're saying
it doesn't.
The show has been canceled, but they're going to have one live episode. But then they act like they haven't seen each other in 20 years. So I'm
it sounds like it was canceled, but there was no closure on the storyline. So
right.
Like, let's have one last live show to wrap things up.
I didn't even realize that until you said it. Yes, they acted like they haven't seen each other in years. The show's still running.
Yeah,
and it's being talked about on Hollywood Tonight, which is America's most trusted news source.
You know, but honestly, like I was definitely very excited when they brought back Twin Peaks. I was like, finally, we'll get some closure on this show, which didn't exactly happen, but like I can kind of
really
understand.
Get all the closure, but yeah.
If someone said, "Look, we're doing one last episode of Sisters, and it's going to be live just to tie things up," I'm like,
holy God, I would be there. In a second.
In a second.
Sisters.
Sisters.
I'd love it for them to
Just kidding.
finally
It
tell.
wasn't gay enough, so I just wanted to add that. And that was also from a Christmas movie, another gay Christmas movie.
One of the greatest
Kurtz.
days of my life is when Celia Ward came into Sephora when I worked at Sephora to get Molten Brown body wash and talked to
You
me.
remember what she got?
Yes, and she talked to me for 20 minutes, and it was
Wow. That's a dream.
Talk about lack of Sephora helper and patient
For some
confidence.
reason, I feel like you kept grabbing onto her, even though she tried to leave.
Did you emerge in like a white towel, pretending you were in the steam room with her, just gossiping at the top of the episode?
Oh
You're
my
like,
God.
Celia Ward smelled so good in my trunk.
She did. So good in my truck.
Tell me
I'm
that's
glad you
secrets.
brought that up because sissies, that's what we call our listeners. Sissies have told me, or your Geraldines have told me many times, they're like, you need to talk to Ben about sisters because I'll bring it up on the pod. So I'm glad you brought it up.
It's both of us, not just me.
As
I should say.
as a young gay boy, I watched Sisters more than anyone had a right to.
And by the way,
I loved it.
And
That
how
and
funny is
Nurses.
NBC? By the way, Nurses. Well, Nurses was like the
That's a
you know you
sitcom.
got-
But I loved
It's
it.
what
I
got
loved
you. It's what got
But
you
it-
to Sisters. But like, by the way, how funny was NBC on Saturdays that they're like, okay, well, this time slot we used to air Hunter. Let's put Sisters in it instead. Like,
The violence of a cop show will easily meld with our with that demo.
yeah, with Julianne Phillips talking to Celia Ward about Susie Kurtz.
I don't think you can stream it anywhere too.
It's like a forgotten show. It's totally,
I would-
It's
Oh,
actually
God.
Ben
it's a
has been
gay-
trying to get that show back. And let me tell you, I
would do
actually
a podcast
pretended to
about
be
that
into
show.
Sisters in the 80s only for Ben because that show I didn't watch. And
You know
it came
what? I keep
on
on thinking
after
you
something, and I
watched
was
it.
like, I don't want to watch that. Like, I've got my own sister. Like, why would I watch this? I could just watch her, you know? But, man, I
Remember
didn't.
when Travis
I didn't
ran
wanna watch
away and it
Yeah.
broke up that family?
Maybe
No.
do you have a
But for
sister,
years,
Ben,
I've
or
been
no?
like, yeah, Sisters, guys. I love Sisters. And then finally, I
it's
was
a-
like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not going to pretend to like Sisters anymore. I'm out of the closet now. But I do love. I love Swoozie and Sela from different things.
What a dark secret you just revealed
It was
about your
I mean,
relationship.
I've revealed it before.
A bigger
but I
secret, by the way,
just-
a bigger secret than anything that aired on this show, Divas.
Now, there's
bigger
a reason
secret
not to
than
speak.
that. Like when your character's main plot line, spoiler alert, is that they love junk food, and that is their biggest problem in life.
See,
Yeah.
that's where I feel like that was a definite Lifetime executive note as well. We all need some kind of healing
Yeah.
for all of the women. And
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. Sorry, I'm jumping
Yeah.
the gun.
You know, they all had their own personality quirks, and like that was her thing, is that she's
Did
like a
they?
health food guru. Well, quirk. She's like a health food guru, but she
Yeah.
really likes food. Then that's fine, but she had no, but there was no. She had no relationship to the other women. That was the thing. There was no inter-character relationship between anyone except for two of the characters that was like of concern.
And it was still odd. So more.
and
okay,
I still
Well, some more.
okay.
Oh, sorry.
And that reveal like hit me like a stinky fish across my face. So we're going to talk about that near the end because
At least
I'm
it wasn't
still
a pie.
That's true.
So the news guy is like, yeah, that last scene we just saw people slapping really packed a punch, which may explain why one lady is refusing to return after a huge blowout with her co-star. Thank you for the exposition. I will be making out possibly with somebody later because I'm the only one they've got. So
I will be giving a menacing fist bump to someone's lapel later on in this movie. Stay tuned.
I enjoyed that.
So
That
we're
was-
like, who is mad at each other? Who's it gonna be?
So now we go to Morgan Fairchild FaceTiming with Alec Mappa, which, by the way, is a great way to set up a scene. Like, I love that log line for a scene. And she's sitting there in the car, and she's like, well, why couldn't we film in New York where we shot the series? Which felt like this was actually exposition for something that had no impact on
didn't
anything.
happen.
Like, we didn't need
we
to
never
know this.
I think the idea is that she hates Los Angeles. Which is
Which
weird
has no
because
bearing on anything.
Morgan Fairchild is the most Los Angeles looking of all of them.
Well, and she talks about it doesn't feel like Christmas. It's too sunny, which then just goes to show if it end up snowing in LA at Christmas, then Morgan, like it would.
Right, like you feel like that's what they're setting up.
Would have stalled. Yes.
Right. Well,
So-
no, Alec Mapa is playing the only role any of us would play in this, which is the gay
this is
assistant or agent or
I
whatever.
do feel like
proud
there need
for
to be
him.
more gay people. I love Alec Mapa. Good for her.
Me too.
Yes, yeah. I'm not dissing Alec. I'm just saying, like, this is like, of course, any of us in a movie made for the gays. They're like, we will only have one gay, and he will be someone's gay assistant, literally with
sexualized
bells
at
on.
all.
Okay,
Yep.
he
And doesn't
literally has bells on.
He does.
Doesn't it feel like the person who's jumping around in a onesie and he's like, no, elf ears? It felt like this was some type of houseboy.
It was like a weird. So my impression was that he was the agent, and that this was some sort of strange boy toy that the agent had, which I felt was also bizarre.
It was tonally strange.
Like he's gonna do coke off that pinball machine. That guy.
Yes. Also,
Yeah.
I want to say to Ronnie's point that Alec Mapa literally had bells on. This movie, the reason why there was no snow at the end of this movie is because I think they splurged their budget on the Foley person, because every time Alec Mapa moved his head, they would put in the bell noises.
There were
There were
aggressive
actual bells. I think that there were actual bells, you guys. I think Alec Mapa was like, this script sucks, and I'm shooting this from home on my iPhone, so I'm going to make it fun. We're having a Christmas party at my house. I have rainbow ears with bells on them, and there's a twink jumping around in the suit. Just did coke off his ass. Okay? Just send it in.
There will be no
Shooting
Foley.
anything.
This will be like Fantasia in the Color Purple. It will be sung live to tape.
This holiday party he was having looked like, I didn't see anyone but him and this twink. So it just looked like there was like four other guys, and like the clothes
We've
were going
all
to come
been
off.
to that holiday party.
Yeah.
We're probably throwing it these days. Jingle, 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 jingle.
It's true.
So then Alec is like, he's like, what would the finale be like without you? You're the stepmother of the Lake Sisters. And she goes, stepmother, please. I look as young as they do. Maybe not Dana. What is she doing? Monkey glands? At which point Matt laughed.
I did.
By the way,
decide to make Morgan Fairchild the mom.
It's the stepmom.
I think that's funny. I think that's funny, and I feel like Morgan insisted that they add in the line where she says, "I look as young as they do."
Yeah, Bob.
Just in case people thought she looked older.
Yeah, and that feels very soap opera. And I actually wrote, "Wow, Morgan's pretty good in this. Like she's holding. I mean, she's holding.
She
that
knew what
phone
movie
better.
she was in.
I mean, at one point, I think later on, like Lonnie Anderson is FaceTiming now, looking her phone's completely upside down. Like they didn't.
It was her first time using it.
So like I think she's doing great. And then she makes, for the gays, again, I'm leaning in. She makes a Patti LuPone joke.
Yes.
I would have won a third Tony too if it wasn't for Patti LuPone saying she was going to retire.
That could have been good. Patti LuPone in here.
So already though, like
sister. Nobody's sister's like me, Lake sister. Finishing the hat.
but to
Mandy
what
and
Ben
Patty.
said, I feel like we're starting to be edged here, and I'm into this. Like I'm very excited for this movie.
Not completely. Hedging you on the edge of insanity.
So then Alec is like, he's like, listen, you're more than just a stepmother. You're the center of the series, the very foundation. And then he turns to this like houseboy and he goes, I love the ears, but you need to make them less pointy and more elfy. I was like, what is the note for? What is like,
what?
No idea.
What? Do
What
you
is
get
this
everything
kink?
you want at home?
Yes.
It is very strange. It's very houseboy for me.
Guys, can I just take a moment and apologize to Matt? I'm so sorry for not letting you finish a sentence. Because you said the word Patti LuPone, and then look what happens to me. You can't say that around me.
Well,
I
it's
enjoy
our
it.
podcast.
Sisters around Ben. You can't do that. They're
Jake,
trigger words.
Jake, if I say the word like Monica, he starts singing up like we're used to this. So it's
We're
fine.
used to
It's called gay D. It's gay
can't-
DD, and it's an affliction that we were all born with.
yes.
Thank you.
I can't, like, if someone mentions any type of obscure Broadway show, I have to sing the rest of it. Like,
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Baby,
So
baby, baby. I don't know why that came to me. Okay, let's go on.
So
Let's go
Morgan-
ahead.
so-
You're
so
more than
Mor-
just a stepmother to the Lake
Morgan-
Sisters. Go ahead, Ben. Take it away.
It is funny. Morgan's holding the phone, and she's sorry, I'm going to get my phone because I want to react. And she's like, yes. And they haven't heard about my situation. And she
My
looked at the camera,
situation.
and I don't know about y'all, but when someone said situation back in the day, that meant they're pregnant. And I went, are they
Bun
going to
in
try
the
to tell
oven.
us? Like, right? That's what that usually
Yeah.
means.
Right.
It's a weird choice of words.
I'm in
we
the
actually
family
even-
way.
So so what we've learned is that she had 5 Emmys. She's actually earned 5 Emmys.
5 Emmys and 2 Tonys.
Yes, yes, exactly. She has 2 Tonys, so she's actually a very acclaimed actress.
Yes.
Who has to come crawling back to this like one time, like this streaming moment here, and but no one knows about her situation, which we're going to find out later what that is.
With my
He's
late
like,
husband,
"Don't worry, I
Sebastian.
He's like, I squashed the internet. Don't worry about it. There's no more internet now. Okay. I've had to resort to paying people to act out my favorite porn scenes. Do it in the reindeer ears.
Do it in the reindeer.
By the way, one thing I have to say I'm really grateful for this movie for, something that they got right is like we are tempted to refer to these women by their like the actresses' names. Like we want to say Morgan and Donna and Linda and Lonnie, and conveniently the writer gave them all names that are just like slight differences. Like Morgan is Margot,
Yes.
Lonnie is Lily, Linda is Lauren, Donna is Dana, and Nicolette is Juliet. So I am really grateful for
Yeah,
that.
I had to.
I never use those names. I only use the actresses' names.
Thank
I
you. Because I'm not going through all that shit. I
I-
use the actresses' names. It's Lonnie.
I'm a
okay?
purist.
She's not. She
You are
doesn't even get a good one.
I really like to honor the creative vision of this movie.
Well, Ben's
so
a
I will
writer,
be-
so you want to honor that, yes. Yeah. Okay, we're at Morgan.
So I wrote,
The
my
next
next
is
note
Donna
is,
Mills.
wait,
Yeah.
is this Morgan Fairchild too? No, it's Donna Mills. Because, oh my God, these blonde ladies. Do you know who else
Yes.
Donna Mills looks just like Kristen Chenoweth, doesn't she?
Oh, with
not,
the
not
eyes?
Kristen Chenoweth,
Yeah.
no. The other Broadway actress who's a famous sitcom actress now. Blonde hair. She was in 9. She was on 30 Rock. What's her name?
Jane Krakowski.
Jane
Jane
Krakowski.
Krakowski. She looks
Yeah.
just like
Does
Jane
kinda
Krakowski
look like
to
her.
me.
I
Yeah.
love Jane Krakowski.
I do too.
Yeah,
Donna
She would have been
Mills.
great in this.
Donna Mills is sounding like Elizabeth Ashley. She's kind of got a voice like this, and it's kind of like everyone's kind of got their teeth going through this. I mentioned the show Evening Shade with Burt Reynolds. Remember the
Yes.
sitcom Burt
Oh,
Reynolds?
yeah.
And Elizabeth Ashley was always on that show making really raunchy jokes, and I thoroughly enjoyed the show Evening Shade. And I remember asking my mother, "Who is that woman?" And she's like, "I don't. Elizabeth Ashley. She was blah blah blah." And I was like, "Why am I so in love with her?" And then I realized like she'd done all this like theater and stuff like that, and now I'm still obsessed with Elizabeth Ashley.
Yeah.
yeah.
She's a real. That is a name I've
Full
not
firecracker.
thought of in a very long time.
Elizabeth Ashley. Yeah,
I don't even know
I think
who that
about
is.
her. I think about her weekly. she's my
your
Roman Empire.
She's your Roman Empire, yes.
Elizabeth Ashley, character actresses in general are my Roman Empire.
Yeah,
What are
me
your
too.
Roman
That's a
empires?
gay thing.
What are-
Endowed.
Ron-
I don't
Endowed
understand
my
what Roman
Empire.
empires mean. I see that meme all over. This is where I'm going to just be like, the old queen here. But what? Well, I don't even know
So
what it means
there's a
because wasn't the
TikTok-
Roman Empire a
It
disaster?
was a New York. It was an article.
That
It's an
men,
article and then a TikTok meme that it showed women asking their boyfriends or husbands how often they thought about the Roman Empire. And shockingly enough, all these guys are saying, "Oh, I think about
Like
it every
once a
day."
week. Yeah,
I asked
Hilarious.
my brother.
Okay,
my
thank you.
brother
I should have
even
asked you sooner.
my brother even said when I asked my brother, he's like, "What do you ask that?" I think about it a couple of times a week. So now the kind of like, what is your Roman Empire? So I asked
Linda
him-
Dano.
Oh, Linda Dano and Attitudes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my.
Ben, what is
and-
your Roman Empire?
I mean, it's also like character actresses.
Character
Like,
actresses is for me.
Like I
yeah.
think of just like obscure actresses. Like I just love. I will often just have like little scenes in my head where I like name drop a random actress. Where I will say something like, "Oh, I just ran into Susie Kurtz at Sprouts," and I'm like pretending like I'm saying that to someone.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I got to write that down and incorporate
What's
that into
yours,
a script
Matt?
someday.
I would say probably this is so weird. I used to love this show. It was like a Canadian show, but they aired it on like kids. There's a kids show called Today's Special where there was like this gay mannequin who put on a hat. He said abracadabra, alacapocus, and like it's so gay that he would come alive at night with this beautiful black woman who worked in the department store, and they would just decorate the department store all night with a Muppet mouse. And I think about that show weekly.
You asked.
Wow.
You asked.
I never knew what that meant. I'm so glad I have other people to ask because I could never ask it on the internet because people would be like, shut up, just die already.
They can't know that, you old.
Okay, so Donna Mills is talking to her daughter, and they really need to make. Apparently the daughter thinks the exposition of the daughter was like, well, Mom, you did adopt like 5 kids from. What did she say? Like war-torn countries?
Right. And by the way, this was Donna Mills' actual adopted daughter. I looked this up. This
is it really?
Mills. It was Chloe Mills. This is Donna's adopted daughter. So I mean,
that's great.
It's a real insidery kind of movie, you know.
Yeah. So she's like, "Come on, the world."
Yeah.
What?
They use Christopher Atkins, the same kind of. It is. You're right. It's insidery casting wise.
Yeah. So they just got anybody who was near. I mean, we're lucky it wasn't like the crossing guard.
Who can you get on the phone, Donna Mills? Who can you get on the phone?
Donna Mills, who do you know? So the daughter's like, I'm sorry. I thought this was Linda Evans at first, not Donna Mills. I actually don't have a very strong frame of reference for Donna Mills. It's just like I know the name, and I'm just like, is she related to the serial? I'm not sure. But she was.
She's in a lot of Lifetime movies.
Did she play twins in an old version of The Parent Trap? Because Haley Mills. Now that's
right.
Now that's
you know
Mills.
what?
Haley Mills and Juliette Mills.
Haley Mills is part of my Roman Empire too. I think about her a lot. I love Haley. Poodle's never seen Summer Magic.
Okay, you only get one of those.
That. That's true. I only get one. I read her biography and it's fantastic.
So she was in Knots Landing. So that's where she's super famous from. And again, I hate saying this, guys, but I'm too young for that. Because when that came on, my parents were like, no, or Falcon Crest. I don't know. I feel
shows.
like
I didn't see those shows.
Yeah, I think we were too young or something. Like we
were too young. I only got to see them because, and maybe Ronnie, because where you grew up, but I don't know if it was for Jake and Ben, but because we were so close to Dallas in Oklahoma, everybody watched Dallas. Like Dallas was, everybody did watch Dallas, but it was such a huge thing. Like families would watch it. So literally it's like all the women would come over.
Grandmother.
On Friday night, they would come over and we'd watch Dallas. And I remember they'd watch Dallas the episode and then they're like my Aunt Peggy and Aunt Darla, they're all going to leave, but they're still kind of chatting and talking, but they would leave the TV on. And that's because Falcon Crest would come on after Dallas. And then I remember that Falcon Crest and be like, what is this show? I want to be on this show where they're rich and they live someplace besides Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah. And I missed all those nighttime soaps because, as a kid, I just was watching the sitcoms and stuff. I wasn't interested in any of the hour-long shows. Like literally the only hour-long show I would watch was Hunter because it was basically after Golden Girls.
When my mother would be tired of her children, I would get sent to my grandmother's house. And my grandmother would have, these were usually Fridays or Saturday nights. And my grandmother would have Stouffer's French bread pizzas. And we would watch good. Dallas, and I would usually fall asleep by the time Falcon Crest happened. But my grandmother would tell me all of the people who were sleeping with people on Dallas.
Wow.
That's her daughter, and that's this person's daughter. He's mean, but she's been sleeping with him in the background. And my mother hated. She's like, "Why are you watching all these trashy soaps with you?"
So your grandma got you into Days of Our Lives too, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's
my grandmother.
That's me too. I used to skip school and walk down the street to my Sithi's house, my grandmother, and she would be with her 2 sisters, and they would be playing cards all day. And I skipped PE. I refused to go to PE, and that was right before lunch. So
but you're such an athlete.
I know, right? Who would have known?
Athlete.
So I left and walked down the ditch to their house, and we would watch Days of Our Lives and Another World every day. And then I started skipping the after lunch period because Sunset Beach came on for a while. I had to watch that one too.
That explains Linda Dano. because the underworld.
I didn't.
Another world.
Yes, she can cry. I mean, Linda Dano can cry literally at the drop of a hat. And she would do it every day. Yeah, Felicia Gallant. She would just be, and those big earrings, she'd have earrings like this big, and they'd be like, Mom, I've been arrested. She'd be like, just sobbing, mascara coming down her face. Oh my God.
And she had gay friends. Like literally all her friends were gay on that show. They were coded.
I think her Cass, her husband or boyfriend or whatever,
Yvonne.
seemed so gay at the time, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
I really didn't get into anything soapy until it was like 1990 when Twin Peaks came out, and I remember on like TGIF, for some reason, instead of having like a sitcom, like at the end of the lineup at like 9:30, they did like a half hour. Hey, if you're not watching Twin Peaks, this is what's happened so far. And they said there's this person and this person, they're in love, but then there's this person and that person. And I never knew shows could be intertwined like that, and I was fascinated.
I loved it.
So
I'm that way
Peaks
for you. Yeah.
It's not like a soap opera in the same way, but like that was my first time really being like, oh my God, and then I felt sad that I missed this entire like heyday of these primetime soaps like Dynasty.
That show was so ahead of its time, and there's so many shows that they're trying to be Twin Peaks now, and that show was in the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
Well, we have to keep talking about this show, or otherwise we're never gonna.
Yes.
Can we?
Why didn't they bring the log lady? Actually, R.I.P. She died too.
She died recently.
Yeah. So Donna Mills is talking to her adopted daughter, and she's like, she's apprehensive that she's going to see this person that she's been feuding with, and her daughter's like, Mom, like no one cares about your silly squabble. It's ancient history, And she's like, no, it was more than a squabble. And she goes, listen, I've seen the Barbara Walters interview a zillion times, Mom. So this was a big enough feud that it made it to Barbara Walters.
These women were superstars. They're making them sound like. And then she
whenever ago, which we still don't know.
You can know how long
it was 5 minutes ago or 25 years ago.
Well, she references it but we know what time it was in time because she's, and I even sent her a card for Y2K.
That's right.
And so we had a Y2K reference that sets this conflict in time.
Current references only.
And so then she's like, and she didn't respond.
She didn't respond. It's like our email stopped working, and then the banks all went dark because nobody knew what to do after the year 2000 hit. No one programmed 2000 hit on clocks. Gosh, that was a big one. That was a
Come
big
on,
doozy.
Mom. You're America's sweetheart from a hit sitcom who in real life adopted 5 children from war-torn countries. You're practically Mother Teresa. Is there any other information you'd like me to impart on this television phone call? I mean, this
Mother Teresa, we should pitch that to Lifetime. Ding, ding. That's when I kind of threw my remote and I went, oh no, please don't do this.
It was, yeah. So now we have, then it goes to Nicolette Sheridan, who's with her son in
Her
Century
twink
City.
son. Her twink son.
Oh my
Who
God,
is-
this guy! Wow, what a
This
cute
guy. Oh, he's so cute. His butthole is so smooth. He's just a little twink.
But he's in like
don't
a
make him
suit.
terrible.
He's
I was
in
like,
like
They
I love
actually
him.
have
You're
a
like,
set.
he's in like a suit that looks like he's about to sell a car. It's really, and like
Yes.
she's in almost like casual clothes.
I'm gonna look up this actor.
And they're in a set. So we're like, these are the
This
only
is a
two
set, yeah.
that are not, these are the only two that are not doing FaceTime. And the son is smarmy. So we think, okay, the son's going to be the villain. And as this show goes on, you think that like, okay, the son is going to come to the house and cause drama, maybe steal the girl.
Human
No, the son's
trafficking
just
is
there
involved.
for the scene.
Yeah.
Nope,
Yeah.
never
No.
really see him again.
I mean, they make you think, God, this guy's going to be packing people in boxes and then naming them couches and then shipping to them from the Wayfair site.
Did you
he's such
see-
a cute guy in a suit.
Did you see what was on the computer screens? It was things
No.
like from the graphics department. Well, I don't know if there was a graphics department, but it was things like quarterly earnings, 35%, 25. But there was nothing else labeled.
Revenue.
Ibsen Lipsum.
Yeah.
3%
His
Lipsum.
name was
dividends.
Is Lane Heron.
That's definitely a
name is
gay
Lane
porn
Aaron?
name.
He's from Mississippi.
Hot.
That's
Oh
all
my
you need to
That
know.
is hot. Yes.
Oh, wow,
He's
his
like, I
first-
got out of there. I'm like, oh no, you've got a lot of S's in your name. Get over here.
His first father was a con man, and that's how he learned to be an actor. Anyway,
That's
go
true.
Southern story.
Oh yeah, it's too much.
His
It's too much.
first father as opposed to
Yes.
his second.
I don't know. I don't understand.
What?
Anyway,
Where are you looking at this?
I'm the bee.
I love this busybody Google shit. Like, well, his first daddy, let me tell you
His
this.
first
he was
daddy
on-
was a con man.
It was a con man and gave his mama syphilis twice.
The second was a poker dealer who taught him an unfractured poker face and an ultimate focus.
Okay, so this for Nicolette's exposition, she's like, listen, I am not friends with her anymore, and I don't have anything to say about it, but we started together. She was like a sister to me. We were roommates. And then, do you know what she did? This, like, wow.
During the Y2K crisis, do you know what she did?
And then, in the very last day of 1999, I finally got a call.
Oh, I can't believe I have to retread this all during these quarterly earnings and dividends moments.
Yes.
So
Hold on. Oh, my
basically, their big
goodness.
fight that has even been discussed on Barbara Walters is that Morgan Fairchild moved out of town and then ghosted Nicolette. And that's it. No, it
that's
can't be that. It needs to
Is
be
it,
something
no, it's
more.
Donna Mills, right? It's
Yes,
Donna,
Donna
Mills.
Mills. I'm
Donna Mills
sorry.
ghosted
That-
her.
Yeah, there needed to be like real fucked up shit because.
Well, there is actually. Well, there is
Yeah, but
actually.
then they
That's the
act
funny
like that's
part.
not a big deal.
This is.
We get all that. That was the worst reveal. We're gonna get to that. I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil it for anyone.
That'll be on
So-
episode 7 of our show.
So the son is all smart. He's like, "Well, I'm glad to see you're all beyond that, mother. Thanks for telling me the story of the 51st time." And
Who
she
else
goes,
can
"Well,
we
just be-
screw over today?
She goes, "Well, just because you're my son doesn't mean I won't fire you." And then we hear the sound like a saved by the Zoom technology that we use.
Konnichiwa. Two random Japanese people.
Let's show that she's an international businesswoman.
Yes.
And she goes,
well,
"Konnichiwa, Mina-san." It's like, oh,
yeah.
wow.
I know. And I love that the ladies were like, just looking at them like, seriously, you guys are
this
making
wasn't
this
even
shoot.
footage.
You guys are really making us shoot this on our iPhone? Really?
It was
think
like
this
chat
was-
roulette.
It was totally chat roulette.
There was two people on chat roulette who wound up on Nicolette Sheridan. Like,
yes.
whoa.
They're like,
And she improv that line. Konnichiwa.
I learned this from Mark Cherry.
this movie was made during COVID. Like they had to sequester people, and like people
Right.
actually couldn't be
It does
in rooms
reek of
together.
COVID.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
You're
It
right. That is
does.
what it is. Yeah.
It does, but I just thought it was so funny. Like, I love when they like work in references to like current technology. Like, saved by the Zoom, but the sound effect is like this weird like Casio keyboard thing. It's like, sounds like my Zoom telephone call coming in.
They're like, bring, bring, saved by the Zoom. Like, guys. Just like-
Oh, there's that AI technology saving me again.
Well, guys, we got through the intro of the ladies and why they don't like each other, so I think that's pretty good. And next, we're going to get to the love interest in there's a love story coming in part 3 of this holiday
This is where I have the
crossover.
most questions.
All right, well, let's get them. We will be back tomorrow with part 3, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. If you want the video, come to our Patreons, and by our, I mean any one of us. We've all got
Any
them.
one of us.
We all got them.
Bye.